Hello and welcome back to a brand new FPL video. In today's video we're going to be looking at the Game Week 36 team reveal ahead of the last 3 game weeks of the season. We're going to be having a quick check to see how the team did last week and what points were scored and missed out on. If you like today's video, please like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. We're trying to push towards 50 subscribers. So without further ado, let's crack on with the video. So a little recap from last week's not quite disaster class, but it certainly wasn't as good as we might have hoped. Only 46 points. It was on the low side. There was a lot of 50-50s that would come out on the back end of. It didn't go too well. We opted for Saw a few weeks ago. Eze was the one that came up trumps, surprisingly getting the penalty over Mateta, despite his miss against Newcastle a few weeks ago. From the previous video as well, I was planning to bench boost in game week 35. I opted against it. I think I'm going to plan on doing that around 37 if all goes well. But the bench boost this week would have got me 12 points, which wouldn't have been bad in a single game week. In fact, that would have been on the pretty good side of things. It was the Leicester clean sheet and Wes Fast 7-pointer that would have pushed us into the pretty decent category. Overall, not many points. I saw a statistic going around that only 3 teams out of the 20 this weekend averaged over 2 XG. It's not a lot. It's not a lot at all. So it was always destined to be a low scoring game week. Captaincy wise, I actually did pick the best option, surprisingly. I picked Johan Visser of Brentford. He ended up on 7 points. Captained him. No one else from my front 7 beat it. So I've got to be happy with that. Overall, disappointing. We dropped a few ranking positions, but the top 50k finish is still on. So, onto the team this week, and there's actually a few dilemmas going into it. Currently, I'm set up with a 3-4-3 formation, and there's a few mainstays of the team over the last few weeks who dropped down to the bench. As you can see, starting in goal, that being one of them. David Raya on the bench, Liverpool away. I don't expect Arsenal to keep a clean sheet in that one. So we've opted for Areola of West Ham. It's a decent-ish fixture. They're away to Manchester United. I can see heavy rotation for Man United in that fixture. Last time, after the Europa League game, Bruno Fernandes was on the bench at home to Wolves. I'm expecting something similar. We fully expect Man United to go through against Bilbao tonight and set up a Tottenham final in a couple of weeks' time. So I think all eyes for them will be on that competition. So Areola gets the nod. We've then got Gavardio at the back, away to Southampton. Good fixture. I think everybody's currently got him though, so unless you have double Man City defence, you're not really benefiting from that one. We've then got Milenkovic at home to Leicester. Forest defensively over the last few weeks have been awful. They've been in the bottom 5 for the league. Their form's plummeted, but if there's ever a time for a clean sheet, this is going to be the fixture. And then we've got Munoz away to Tottenham. Similar to Areola, I can see Tottenham rotating. Will Porro play? Will Udogie play? Will Spence play? Any of that back 4 could be at risk. Solanke is currently in injury doubt. Maddison is out for the season. I don't think Tottenham are going to risk their key assets ahead of that Europa League final, providing they get past Bodo Glimt. For that reason, attacking wise, Munoz is in the team. I can't see him keeping a clean sheet in this one. I do think that Tottenham score goals, but Munoz gets the nod. It's actually a midfield 5 this week. I know things might have changed since the last part of this video, but it's a midfield 5. Looking back at the data, MATETA he's not been making that 60-minute mark too many times. Early substitutions, no penalties. Yes, he is playing Tottenham away, and if you are making captaincy choices recently, spoiler, you're targeting Tottenham and Manchester United, like Brentford did last week. But we've gone for a midfield 5. We've got Mbeumo, we've got Salah, we've got Phil Foden, of all people. Will he start that game? I'm not too sure. But it's Southampton away, and I've just got to risk it. I feel like there could be heavy rotation for Manchester City. They've got 2 games in 4 days next week, including the cup final and a home fixture to Bournemouth. A lot of people are going for Kevin De Bruyne, and I can see the lure why. He's a fantastic asset if he plays. Bournemouth at home, De Bruyne's last home fixture. You can paint the narrative however you want. The cup final, once again, if he's going to get a rest in the next 4 games, I do feel like this Southampton away fixture will be the one. Now, we might know the team news beforehand because the deadline isn't until 1:30 on Saturday. But I've just got this feeling Foden's going to start that game. And for that reason, I plump for him. We've then got Saw, and I've gone for Morgan Rogers this week away to Bournemouth. It's a tricky fixture, but he's a minutes monster, and we know he's going to be on the pitch at a time of uncertainty for many other teams. Just the 2 up front this week, we've got Johan Visser of Brentford away to Ipswich. Quality fixture, it really is. Visser's gone under the radar heavily. He's scored some goals. Unfortunately, Isak scored the goal last week, which cancelled out Visser's goal for me for ranking wise. But if he's going to do well in a fixture, I feel like this is going to be the one. Brentford have got some decent fixtures towards the back end of the season. I feel like the double up with Brentford is okay. And then we've got Marmoush away to Southampton. Very similar to Phil Foden and De Bruyne if you've got him. Any Man City assets, I think, in this game are just random. I think Pep Roulette's going to be rife. He's going to play. He's going to start. If you've got Southampton away, even though Southampton have been better defensively over the last 5 weeks, they've picked it up an awful lot. I still think you've got to target him. And for that reason, he's starting the game. Starting on the right-hand side last week for Manchester City, they're playing this false 9 with De Bruyne, up front Kovacic, kind of pushing through the lines. He's not great over there. Even on the left, he's been poor. When he first came into the City team, he was playing up front. He was taking shots from distance, and he seems like he's been pepped. He seems like he's already had that taken out of him, which is a shame. And also, we've got Haaland on the horizon. It'd be interesting to see what Pep does with Haaland over these next few fixtures. I think I'm going to go without him for the rest of the season, even if he does make that recovery. But I think Marmoush starts this game. Bench, David Raya, away to Liverpool. Can't see a clean sheet. In fact, I can see Liverpool scoring 2 or 3 goals. The celebration party is well and truly underway. And if you watch how Arsenal play, the left back inverts. There'll be a lot of space down that right hand side. In the PSG fixture, Lewis Skelly got caught out quite a few times. A lot of breakaways. I can either see this being a really tight fixture, a couple of goals either way, maybe a 2-0 Liverpool, or it just being a mammoth scoreline. Arsenal got nothing to play for now. You feel like even if they don't win another game this season, they still might qualify for the Champions League. They've probably only got 2nd place to play for. And I feel like Liverpool are going to be in that party spirit. Salah hasn't scored in quite some time, but if I was going to be a betting man, I'd say he gets on the score sheet or gets an assist in this fixture. So for that reason, Raya's on the bench. We've then got Mateta, similar, cup final on the horizon. We can paint the picture of Eddie Nketiah going to Tottenham Hotspur's stadium like old times, scoring a goal or 2, maybe even starting that fixture. Certainly coming off the bench. And then we've got Concert away to Bournemouth. Bournemouth attacking wise, exceptionally good. Still pushing for those Conference League places. A lot to play for. Same as Villa, to be fair. But I can see Bournemouth scoring in that game, and for that reason, Concert doesn't make the starting 11. And Wes Fass away to Nottingham Forest. Now, normally you wouldn't look at that one too much, but Forest have really struggled to create chances. Chris Wood has fallen off a cliff, but there's still that potential. You feel like the crowd's going to be up. It's a Midland derby. Everything's on the line now. There's nowhere for them to fall back on points-wise. So Wes Fass doesn't make the team for that reason, and that makes the bench. Finally, onto captaincy this week. There's quite a few choices that you could make. I feel like the Brentford assets might be popular away to Ipswich. I feel like the Man City ones, if we know the starting 11, might be popular as well across the board. And also if you've got Bruno Fernandes at home to West Ham, if you've seen my captaincy video yesterday, you'll know where my thoughts are on him. But for me, I think the Crystal Palace assets are possibly the better ones. I'm going for Ismaila Sarr against Tottenham Hotspur. Now that is subject to change, but I feel like with Tottenham all eyes on the Europa League, you've got to target them. There's a lot of space in behind. We saw it a few weeks back when Palace went to Manchester City. They scored a couple of early goals. Sarr got in behind. He got the assist for the Eze goal. He caused havoc. Where there's space and pace, points can come from. Sarr in the week, over a 1xg, came away with no points, was extremely unlucky. I feel like in this game there's going to be a bit for him. The fans for Tottenham, their eyes might be elsewhere. The players' eyes might be elsewhere. To be fair, it could be the same for Palace, but I see points potential in Sarr, and for that reason, he might, going into the deadline, subject to change, have the armband. And that concludes today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget the deadline for FPL is at 1:30 on the 10th of May, Saturday. It's not an early one this week. There is no midday kickoff. We've only got 3 PM ones, so don't miss out. You've been warned. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment down below on how your season's going, and please do subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. The socials are in the description below. We've got Twitter, we've got Instagram, we've got TikTok. Go check them out. There's some great stuff on there. Thank you very much for watching, and I will be seeing you in a new video very soon.